What's up, Metal Brethren? Scott Tannic 1 coming at you again live from the dungeon with part 10 of the very lengthy Danzig Discography review. Now, before I really go into that, this is 2007. Danzig's taking a bit of a hiatus here and working on this, The Lost Tracks of Danzig. Now, this son of a bitch was very fucking expensive when it came out. I paid $40-something, and I think it's even more expensive now. What is contained here in this monstrous 2-disc set here is everything that hit the cutting room floor from the previous Danzig catalog. There's even some old recycled Sam Hain tracks on here. One of them which that I really want to talk about is When Death Had No Name. This is a track from this offering. There's two incarnations of that track on here. I think it should have been on the Danzig 3 album, because that was the last time they rehearsed this one. Honestly, that track alone is worth it's worth trying to at least get a cheap copy of this. I'm not gonna lie to you. Some of this stuff I could see why it was cut, but then again, at the same time, some of this stuff I don't understand why it was cut. Especially the Sam Hain stuff, which is like Pain Is Like an Animal, and the first slice of When Death Had No Name. Angel of the Seventh Dawn is another one that was left off of here. I believe that was left off the Danzig 2 sessions. You Should Be Dying. Another one is really good that was left off the Danzig 1 sessions. I mean, this is a really great record, guys. I can't recommend it enough. There are some really great tracks on here. And we're going to get into these ones that I'm talking about right now are on the first disc. Another good one was Cold Cold Rain, another really moody, depressing song that was left off of Danzig 2 Lucifuge. A really cool T-Rex cover is on here, Buick McCain. One from, I think it was the Danzig 4 sessions called Satan's Crucifixion. And a very controversial song is on here too that was omitted because Deaf American had wanted absolutely nothing to do with this track. Was White Devil Rise, which is pretty much Glenn's response to all the inflammatory stuff that was going on at the time in 1994 with Louis Farrakhan. Definitely a controversial track. Him kind of like speaking for the pissed off white man as he's watching all this stuff unfold. Check it out if you want to really see a more controversial Danzig song. It's not the greatest track on here by any means, but it's definitely worth listening to just to see where sorry, to see where Glenn's coming from with his thought process, especially during this period of time in the band. A really cool acoustic version of Come to Silver is on here. Of course, that's one of the tracks from Danzig 5 that I thought was one of the better tracks off that whole shitty record that features Jerry Cantrell. Deep is another one that's on here. It was on the X-Files soundtrack, Songs in the Key of X. One of those that kind of flew under the radar, and Danzig got on there with the song Deep. Really good stuff. And the last track off the first disc is called Warlock. Fucking amazing. And then we get into the second disc. Now, this is the era of Danzig that I can see why a lot of these tracks got cut. They weren't that great. But some standouts on here are probably Crawl Across Your Killing Floor. That was one of the videos that was made for this album / albums. Then you get songs like Caught in My Eye, which is a cover of I can't remember who, but it's okay. Bound by Blood is one of those that was really anticipated that came on this offering. I believe it was left over from the Danzig 7 sessions. Really good stuff. Then you get on to my favorite on here, Soul Eater. Soul Eater is definitely my favorite on the second disc, left over from the Danzig Circle of Snakes album. Great stuff. And then you get into a little bit of some remix ideas here. Underbelly of the Beast, which was a leftover from the Danzig 6 sessions. definitely an industrial mix. It's okay. And then there's the Unspeakable Shango mix, which I think is total dog shit. Glad it got left off, but it did see the light of day with this record. Honestly, Lost Tracks is definitely a must-have for your collection. Just to get some of the first disc alone is great. Second disc, not so much. It's definitely a good collector's item. I kind of did a little bit of pricing research on this before I did this vid, and this son of a bitch is still expensive as hell, being the fact that now it's out of print. So if you didn't get it when it was in print, which it was still like $40, now it's a little bit even more expensive, being the fact that it's now fucking out of print. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and rate the Lost Tracks. The Lost Tracks is definitely 4.5 out of 5, being the fact that this kind of lets you know some of the really great shit that Glenn left off the plate for us as Danzig fans. But you know what? Go ahead, let me know what your opinion is. Hit me up in the comments. Like and subscribe if you like what I have to say. And then I will see you here very soon with the final installment of the Danzig discography review. So go ahead and stay tuned. You sat through it this long. Good things are to come on the final one later on.